was bad, yet target times perplexed me. ASL, ASL, skulking safely forever.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm Dave,
I'm Jeff.
and we are the Two Half Squads.
Yes, we are at least two of the 2 half squads.
But there's 3 half squads here tonight for show 349.
That's right. We have there he is.
Here I am.
For those people who are watching on YouTube, this is him in the flesh. Get him while he's hot.
The fan club demanded it. So
That's
I'm
right.
back.
That's our friend Mike Ryzy, star of stage, screen, and television. And glad to see you, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming all this way.
All the way.
Mike flies in. It's a good thing your passport is up to date. Flies in from Switzerland every month to podcast with us, which is really nice. I decided I'm just going to start making stuff up because nobody's going to check. Who's going to check? Nobody. So anyway, good to see you. And good to see you too, Dave, though you look a little puzzled.
Yeah.
You're not sure where you are you? You want me to-
Trying to think of anything interesting happened this week. I went to see the ABBA cover band at Street Fest, and I was going to invite you both to meet me there Sunday at 4. But I went by myself.
I would have gone. Actually, Robin would have loved to have seen that. So let's not talk about that.
Oh,
in case she listens to this show.
Well,
how was it?
It was fine. I was a little more lonely going by myself into a crowd than I thought I would be. I thought it would make me less lonely, but I got used to it and looked around for people I knew. Couldn't find anyone. Sat there.
But you knew ABBA, so that's all.
Yeah.
And they knew you, Dave.
Yeah. And they, of course, Dancing Queen. Everyone got up and was dancing. All the old people, which I guess I am one of them now, I suppose.
No, I don't think you are. Not yet.
And then I got on my bike and I rode home and I was kind of dancing on my bike, going around the streets.
Oh, yeah, I saw that in the paper.
They were kind of blocked off, so it was kind of cool. And the Ren Fair Saturday with my Mark Wood's first time there.
Wow, hard to believe.
Yep.
We have a very good Ren Fair here. And is it in Wisconsin?
Yes.
It's right over the border. Right over the border. The Bristol Ren. It used to be called the Bristol Renaissance Fair. I don't know if it's still called that.
It is. It used to be called the King Richard's Renaissance Fair, but I think King Richard cheated on his taxes or something and had to be shut down or sell
indicted. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
A lot of stuff. But you had a good time.
Yes, it felt a bit stale to me. But I wanted to do the standard acts that Mark's never seen.
Yeah.
Mooney, etc. And Dave wanted to see the Mud Show and
the Mud Show.
Boy,
where the guys eat mud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same.
It's
1980.
Well, does the medieval era, does the Renaissance era change over time?
Yeah. And Dave,
that's a good question.
And Dave kept asking as we'd see different people. He's like, well, wait, what is this? Actually, I'm like, well, okay, it's a medieval Renaissance fantasy fair.
Yeah.
And people just accept that. So you can be a fairy or a orc and walk around.
You could.
Yeah.
You could see
yes.
People were dressed in all different ways.
Yeah. And then there was a henna stand for the ink tattooing.
Yeah.
And so he's like, okay, is that medieval or fantasy?
Or 60s.
I said, okay, it's a Eastern, Near Eastern fair. And there were some Japanese items on sale. And so I'm like, okay, it's anything goes fair.
Yes.
Well, as I mentioned to you guys, my wife, when we last went, she bought a didgeridoo. which is an Aboriginal Australian musical instrument that you blow into. It's a big long pipe thing. She bought one of those. So how does that wrap into your Renaissance fair there, sir? Putting Dave in the hot seat. I guess they could rename
That's
it.
not that Zambulu.
No,
Makes
No,
that loud
no,
noise.
no.
Okay. Is she good at it? Playing that?
but going back to ABBA, I used to do this when I would go into a bar by myself, which I often did because I don't have any friends. I would go into a bar by myself and get a drink and just pretend to see somebody on the other side of the bar. And I just raise my hand and wave, point at them. Dude, fist up in the air. Dude, love you guys. They're way on the other side there, Nobody's ever come up to me and say, why are you pointing at me?
And Mike, have you been to the Run Fair? Yes.
Oh, many years. Back in Michigan and Bristol here.
Which one was the better fair?
They're all a little different. They all have their own local flavor. So
Yeah.
And Bristol's been around for a long time. So.
Yeah. But is there a Michigan flavor to the Michigan fair?
Well, tastes like Michigan.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Okay, so like tires, car tires.
It is on the east side of the state. So
It
yes,
is,
there's
yeah.
a distinctly automotive.
Oh yeah, so steampunk
Oh, there you
flavor
go.
along with it
Yes. Yeah.
would
I
be
don't know.
good.
Now that's been years, so maybe it's all different now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And did you ever dress up?
no, but my daughter did.
Yeah.
She had a full garb.
Megan.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Did you buy anything when you were there, Dave? Did you buy
Nope.
like iron underwear or something like that? I've always had my eye on the iron underwear.
Nope. A chainmail bikini.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, no,
No.
not this time. Okay.
No, and the food I ate was different as you asked because I followed Tim Inslee had a brat and a potato.
Oh yeah, good old English brat.
Yeah. So yeah, I was like, okay, if that's what you
A
want
brat
for
and a
lunch.
potato.
Baked potato later on in the day. The tempura.
Classic medieval tempura.
Yeah, that was it. Skipping the turkey leg, which is an emu leg, I think Mike says, or has heard
So
that.
I've been told.
So you didn't check? Did Mark Woods have the emu leg?
No,
Okay.
no.
I'm going to have to go and ask myself, I guess. Nobody will ask
Yes,
for
we
me.
did. We did not ask.
I'm going to
Correct.
storm right up there to the front. Is this emu or is this ostrich? Or hostage? Maybe it's hostage legs, which is very hard on the hostages. Well, and there was that great field trip we took, all four of us guys,
Yes, with Mr. Lemke
and it was exhausting, long distance trip. Like,
down along the Illinois-Michigan Canal.
yeah,
Yes.
that's right. Which was I didn't know anything about it. I don't get out much, but yeah, we went to I don't know what town that was in. The Illinois-Michigan Canal.
Lockport.
The first part. Second part was in Lockport.
Right. The first
Oh.
part was in
Romeoville.
no. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And it was a Voyager.
The Voyager was Isle a la Cache, where the Voyagers would trade
Beaver
and
pelts mostly.
beaver pelts, right,
Yeah.
with the local native tribes.
Yeah. And they really had I've been to a couple of those museums along there and along the Mississippi River, and the museums are excellent. They're not very big, but they're clean. They're well appointed. They have great text. They're interesting. I really had a good time there. I was surprised how good it was. Yeah, and then the one in Lockport was fascinating. That was one of the bustling towns in Illinois
Yeah.
before Chicago became the big deal.
And that museum was dedicated to the canal building.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, fascinating.
Yeah, I put some pictures up in here for the YouTube watchers of our trip. If we have your permission to post those photos. Well, not the one.
You have to, yeah, not that one. And you have to blur out my face.
On the other one.
Yeah, pixelate my face. It isn't not naturally pixelated.
Yeah, and I took Laura back there the next week and we went
That's
to
right.
try to get to
Yeah.
that same restaurant, but it was closed on Monday. The museum was closed, which she didn't care about. We went to ride bikes. And so then we rode down toward Joliet and past the ruins of the steel mills. And when I told you guys, I think when I came back that It's like in Europe, you go see ruins of, castles
Castles.
and monasteries. And then in
Right.
America, you see ruins of steel mills from
Yeah.
1890.
Yeah. Sad.
Yeah.
Sad but true.
So I'll put some of those up past the penitentiary and then into that Joliet and had that great burrito for $9, man. I'm telling you, it's an amazing restaurant. It's great.
Yes.
Worth the drive.
On the edge, worth the drive and the bike ride.
Yeah.
So, shall we do our drawing, gentlemen?
Yes.
Mike,
What are we
We have
drawing?
6 people
Ooh.
that have entered the contest for these broken ground design counters. Look at them, check them
Very
out.
nice.
Aren't they cool? And we have 6. And Mike, you're going to pick a number between 1 and 6.
Oh man, can you handle it?
I don't know.
7,
Uh,
my lord.
32.
Yeah. I think that
Cuckoo
one's
for
on.
counters.
One
Pick a
between 1
number.
and 6.
You want to roll a die or something?
No, he's going to
4.
pick.
Oh, he's just gonna
Then
pick.
they can blame him.
Oh, I see.
Yes, I'm just.
1, 2, 3.
It has been verified that I do not know what these numbers correspond to.
Yes. We had his brain.
Number
wiped.
4. Richard Blasco.
Ah,
Frequent winner of our
Richard.
contests. And
Lucky
he has
duck.
won again.
Lucky
Richard will get this sent out to you soon. In fact, what have we brought today to the show, Mike?
I
As we
have
move into we have a slogan. It's
Oh.
called
What's
in the box.
I thought this segment was going to be what did Mike bring?
What did Mike
Mine
bring?
Yeah.
What did you bring?
I brought Special Ops 12.
What?
It came in the mail. The
Fantastic.
postman
How did
brought
it
to
come?
me.
Did you bought it?
I did bought it.
You bought.
I did not bought it, and it was not donated to the show,
Yeah, I
leaving
did
us
not
with
bought it
no
either, so I
product to
didn't get it.
review. Good thing Mike came through for MMP.
Yeah, very nice. Well, you've been eager to get that.
Yes, I have.
What's in
It
it?
has many things. On the cover is Warriors of England, the Wars of the Roses, but we won't be talking about that today.
Can I have the
You may.
cover? I'll do the Vanna now,
Yes.
Oh, okay. Mike will talk.
but we
about-
won't be talking about that. Correct?
Only if you want to.
No. So what else is in there? Why
There
would
are-
it be on this podcast?
ASL things.
Ooh, ASL things.
There are 2 scenarios for starter kit and 4 scenarios for regular ASL. But most importantly, 3 of those are for a historical map, which I'm handing to Vanna
Yeah.
too.
Vanna,
Was
Rosanna,
the
Rodriguez.
color in the printer broken? So it's all white.
I think it's snow, Dave.
It's a snowboard.
It still used ink. You have to buy special white ink, thanks to Hewlett Packard.
And it's dirty snow too. It's not really white. It's like white number 6. Dirty snow.
Oh, dirty snow.
Look at that. It's a long thing.
I have never played on a snow map.
Possible.
I mean, there
Yes.
aren't that, I don't think there are that many. When did they start coming out? I can't even remember. Fairly recently, right?
Cholm.
Right. That
Yeah.
one had one. And
They're not official.
well, there is an MMP product that has snow.
Yes, there is now. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Some people print their own, change it on Vassal, and then print out a winter board.
Yeah.
But so,
Yeah, and
where
I-
is
I
this
have not
taking
played.
place? What is
This
I'm
is
looking
taking
at?
place. Let's bring out our Russian again.
Greshnevyevik.
Lysyanka.
Greshnevyevik. I'll just make up words.
What does that sound like? It's from a Lynch movie.
David Lynch
Oh,
movie?
in
Dune.
yeah, that's the one. No, the TV show, Twin Peaks.
Ooh,
When
Oh.
when they're in the world, the backwards room, the evil room in the other dimension, and they speak backwards.
Oh,
It was a good imitation of that.
okay.
sound.
Wow, I didn't
Have
even
not
realize
seen
I was
that.
doing that.
Yes.
I have never seen Twin Peaks.
Oh well,
Is it worth a rewatch, do you think? Do you think it holds up
Yes.
well?
Megan,
It's been a while since I've seen it, but
my
yeah.
Megan loved it, and we started it, and then it got a little eerie from Laura, so Laura dropped it. So I should continue on my own, probably.
Yeah.
And there's a second season that came out just recently, a couple of years ago.
Well, how many seasons were there?
Just-
Weren't there?
2 or 3,
Oh, okay.
and then they kind of did a
Did a-
updated, newer
yeah.
Here's a
continuation.
great big graveyard. Look at that.
The great big graveyard.
Is there a church there?
Mm-hmm.
There
And
has
it's
to
a
be.
cemetery.
There has to be.
No steeple on it, but maybe.
So we have here in February of 44 a relief effort to open up the corridors to the Corson Pocket.
Ah, the pocket.
Yes, so this is one action for the Germans trying to capture this bridge away up there to reconnect with the surrounded units. Come on, Vanna, point that finger.
And is that the scenario card?
Yes, there's 3 scenarios.
Yeah, I see one.
You may.
I'm just curious if it says snow is in effect.
Yes, so yes. It has to say.
Yeah, if it's printed on the board, then it doesn't have to say it.
I think it has
That's
to say,
right.
I wonder if it has to say it anyway.
Oh, it
Let's
says
see.
it. Because it's more than snow.
Oh, yeah. Environmental conditions are snow with no wind.
But there's also drifts.
Oh, I haven't had drifts in quite a while. This is by Ken Dunn, Key to the Rescue. And Ken Dunn, Drava Epic. Do you know which goes first, or what the
So
deal
there's
is?
the main scenario you're looking at there, the one called Key to the Rescue, which is the full board, and it features
Hmm.
the nice ability for replayability, the purchasing of units, so you
Oh,
can
yeah, I
you can
love
design your own
love
defensive
that.
force and
Love
attacking
that.
force. And the full length of the game is all the way to the bridge, so it's the whole action. Jeff's holding on to the other 2
Ah.
scenarios, which features sort of, I think, the morning action or the approach action. And then the second one on the other side is the getting to the bridge part later
Yeah.
on.
Yes, there's Frank's tanks. And also Ken Dunn. These are all Ken Dunn. And quickly toward the bridge. Yeah, which don't use the whole map, but a
Right,
good,
they're
good
just-
portion of it.
2 halves, and then
Yeah.
the 2 halves together in the bigger scenario.
This looks great.
Yeah, it looks really good. And the Russians have the DC set on the bridge, so if you get close to it, it may blow up as it did
Oh.
historically.
Yeah, at this time of year, I do like to play the winter scenarios.
In the hot summer.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do. It cools me down a little.
Yeah,
So
I
we
like
should
I liked-
play these.
liked putting up miniature games in World War II when I had we played those in the winter scenes in the summer. It was fun to
Yeah.
refreshing.
Yes. Cooling.
So this one, Key to the Rescue, the Germans win at the game end by turn 7 by controlling 39 greater than or equal to 39 bridge building rubble locations east of X-Row M, or by controlling the bridge. Yeah. Yeah, this is in Ukraine.
Yes.
Yep, I see the drift rule. And then the back of this, is that an
That's the 4th scenario by Ken as well. Featuring mostly infantry. It's Bulgarians versus Germans. And that one has an interesting mechanic where if they're inexperienced, I think, or something to that effect, where if they roll a cower, they actually just shoot at the nearest enemy unit.
Oh
They don't
yeah.
actually cower.
Yeah, Russian units rolling doubles on IFT attack do not necessarily cower. Instead, that attack is conducted versus the nearest. Randomly select one location if needed. Bulgarian infantry unit that's in line of sight and within range. No residual firepower is placed.
I used to
So
be
the
annoyed. Do you remember when I would be annoyed by the
Special rules, yeah.
Yes.
And now I find them the most fascinating part. I've come full circle.
Well, as Bill Cirillo told us, there's a lot of them in Budapest that make it different.
Yeah.
So, like the one we're doing, I mentioned it last show, or the first show,
Right.
Pleva. So, makes it fun. So this is Bulgarians, and yeah, I see them here.
It's
and
the
here,
Bulgarians
and then
newly
a
offended-
Russian set. too.
Yeah, they've joined the Russians.
just flip
Yeah, they
sides.
flipped, yeah. And
March 1944.
Oh, that's March of 44. These two,
Yeah.
these are both February.
Right.
12th.
The other one's all, this one has nothing to do
Okay.
with the map.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's on a different board too.
It's
I
on a
did
different
notice.
half
Right.
67.
Yeah, half of 67.
A nice evening game.
Yes. Well, we could probably set it up now and have it finished by the time
Let's
the
go.
end of the show. And those we don't want to just ignore.
We
the
can't
start.
ignore them, though I have not.
Oh, those are for the
It's starter kit. Yep, we have
Well,
one.
that's kind of nice. Just to,
Well, every op magazine has two,
I guess-
normally two regular full ASL scenarios and two starter
starter
kit
kits.
scenarios.
Well, that's great.
That's why they're already up. These are up to 95 and 96. So
Wow. Okay.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
starter
I'd
Well,
want
and they
to
must be
track of
doing that for a reason. That starter kits are still popular.
I think they
apparently.
are. Yeah. And here we've got one in July 44 in St. Lo. Americans winning if there are no good order Germans in a building on P. Bunch of tanks, mixed infantry.
We should we should put out the word that we'd like to talk to some starter kit because we never play. We used to play starter kits when it first came out,
Mhm.
Right.
because it was different and we wanted to see what it's like. And it was right when I was getting started in ASL anyway. But we should make an effort to get some starter kit players on
Yeah.
to see how they. see
I've
what they
always
can
wondered.
tell
It's
us.
always one of the things I bring up is that they've got to be out there.
There's got to be a lot
You
of them
know,
out there.
they
They
don't
wouldn't
go to
keep putting
conventions
those in
and
the,
right. And who are
magazine.
those people?
Who are they? Come
Yeah.
on, people, step up.
Yep. Let us know. Email us and
Actually, you can
maybe we'll get you on the show.
Yeah.
Most likely we would, unless something's weird about you.
we could, yeah.
So
And you can stay anonymous if you want, if you're embarrassed about it. You don't want your church groups to know that you're still playing starter kit, whatever.
clay pigeons of Saint Lô. Cats come out to play. Again, different boards, right? Yep.
Yeah, it's all
Starter
the
kit boards.
letter boards.
Yeah, right.
And
So what boards do you need for those?
I and P and T and L. And it has the bocage rules where they change the rule to make it easy. Like
Right.
they give you the whole, I think, bocage rule in this little special rule.
Hmm.
So you don't have to have that whole,
Oh, right.
simpler.
Yes, of course.
And I'm pretty
Why don't you read
sure-
that? Let's hear it.
Well, hedges are bocage. Hedge rules apply normally. Oh, no, there is hedge rules, but they're not the same as from the big game.
Yeah, I
Right.
think that's right.
Well,
I'm assuming the big difference still is that there's no elevations in starter kit. If I'm correct.
Oh, yeah, there wasn't in the
Yeah,
first
I
ones.
don't think there.
Yeah.
The TEM of bocage is +2. Infantry pays 2 plus cost of terrain to cross it. An armor fighting vehicle pays half of its movement point allotment and the cost of terrain to cross bocage. And a bog check, failure of which leaves it in the hex attempted to leave. Bocage is a 1-level line of sight obstacle. Line of sight cannot be traced along a bocage hex spine. So yeah, that's going to be simpler.
Huge.
Is that all you get for ASL? from
No.
that
Speaking
magazine?
of 3D, and I read this article wrong when I first read the title to it. Within the magazine is an article from Jim Bishop called, ASL in 3D. Well, I read it wrong, but
Oh,
I was thinking it was going to be
yeah.
something amazing. But
Yeah.
it's the third die rate of fire controversy.
Oh,
which
they
I've never
call it.
heard of.
Yeah, I
until
hadn't
now.
either until I read this article.
well,
The
it's
3DR.
controversial. They're
3DR, they call it.
3DR. What is that?
So you roll when you roll an attack, you always roll a third die, and that die is the die that determines you have rate of fire or not. So you don't look at your 2-hit or your IFT number.
Yeah.
That's separate from the other die, the third die, which determines the number you use
For
rate of fire.
What's the idea behind that?
It separates the, if you get a rate of fire, it's traditionally with a low number. So that low number means somehow that because you shot a good shot, you also get the rate of fire.
Yeah.
Which technically, if you think about it, doesn't necessarily have to go hand in hand. That your ability to keep shooting has nothing to do with the fact that you had a good hit on something. So the idea is they're separating that
I
number
see. Yes.
from the effect.
Okay.
And then Jim goes through with a whole bunch of math.
Oh
And
my
all
God.
kinds of charts.
No.
Yes,
Math,
Jeff, you
look at
love
that.
that.
Oh, I'm gonna have to read it.
Yes. So it seems from what I've read here that it seems that, they were looking to see if it changes the outcomes, if the,
Yeah.
if the math gets wonky in any way. And at a general glance, it looks like it's the same, negligible differences. Just that it's heretical, so
Yes.
the use of this rule would be non-standard.
Okay, so it's a house rule. You can decide whether you're
Essentially a
going to
house rule, yes.
do it or not. So does it, how do you feel about it? Not having employed it,
Yes,
just
never
right
having
out,
played
right
it.
out of
I
the
mean, I
top of
like
your
the
head.
concept. It makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I like the idea that, there is no correlation between effectiveness and ability to continue to fire.
Yeah,
So
right.
I get it. but
Yeah.
To give it a try someday.
One more roll. Dave, will you use it?
Could. There is a die from Canadian guy who
Oh, yeah.
makes the dice. That's just a rate of fire die. And you can make a nice extra dice. Did anything from that pro and cons part of that article? Just that it splits it up from the
Right, just that it splits it up.
Yeah.
But there was an interesting line here that I found amusing because it also talks about it affects sand somehow. And then these strong language from Jim saying, I hate the sand mechanism in ASL. So
Wow.
I hadn't heard somebody say that before.
Yeah.
But because the dice you have to calculate sand differently because of the use of that third die.
Oh, really?
Somehow it escapes me at the moment.
Okay.
coming soon. Poniri.
What's coming soon?
Yes.
Poniri, the
The
game.
big historical for the northern end of Kursk.
Finally.
Yes.
Okay.
Been
Okay.
working on that for a while.
While
Yeah.
we're busy watching Kursk in real time.
Yeah. Right.
Now in
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Mike, for bringing that in. I don't think I am going to get it. I am getting ready to leave the earth in the next 20 years, and I have too much stuff, as you can see. And I can't believe I've come to that point in my life where I can say, yeah, I got to play that,
Yeah.
and that ASL game before. And then
If you are driven to do so, you know where to find it.
it's true. I could play yours. That's the thing I've always struggled with is
Yeah.
playing,
Yes.
letting someone else have the game.
Yes.
And I don't have to own the game. And the show doesn't have to own the game since you got the game. So
But that is a sad moment when you start. I was looking at some books today and I thought, oh, yeah, I'd like to reread that. Reread that. I got so much to read.
calculate it all out. Oh,
Yeah.
let's see. I'll be 65, 70. I'll be 75 when I get to that shelf.
Yeah.
85. And probably won't be playing Squad Leader anymore. Yeah, we will be.
I'm just going to be buried with my books. I think that'll do it.
We just
Then I'll
gotta
have
That's the
time.
best way.
Yeah. And a light.
stay in
Yeah.
shape. And now it's time for rules.
You need the rules to play the game and put your opponents to shame. They might seem hard, but that's okay. We're gonna learn them anyway. Rules.
All right. You got your beanies
So we've
on.
covered all the rules, right, Dave? No more rules. We've covered them
Section
all.
A is finished.
We have covered them all.
Section B is finished.
Wow.
Wow.
Section C has 3 small parts left, and then it will be finished. So
Wow.
actually, we are going to be finishing the rules pretty
Wow.
soon.
Amazing.
So let's take a look at Rule 10.
We'll have to start making up our own rules.
First question: what is Rule 10 about?
It's a follow-up to Rule 9,
Digging latrines.
a precursor to Rule
After
11.
9, it
Yeah,
is
latrines.
gun movement.
Oh,
Well,
Gun movement.
Similar.
I prefer the latrine rules.
Yeah.
So it is 10.1 is towing. Did you know you can tow a gun around the battlefield?
I
Would you-
knew it. I knew it. But have I done it?
Surely somewhere in all
Somewhere.
the games you played.
Well,
yes.
when it was hooked up.
already.
The question is, yeah,
Yeah,
how often do you rehook?
not often.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not often. Even pushing a gun should happen more often than I do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've been doing that better with Dave now in the Budapest. We got my gun out. I'm like, I'm pushing the thing. It works if it's, small enough.
Yes.
But towing a vehicle allowed to tow a gun has a towing number printed on its counter in the form of a T number. A vehicle's T number, must it be greater or less than the number in order for that vehicle to tow the gun's number?
It's got to be
And-
greater.
I would say greater.
I don't think you guys rang in, but
No.
it's
Oh.
okay. We don't have the bell out.
That's right. Here, I can do this.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
It has to be less than or equal to a gun's manhandling number, the T number, less than.
Wow.
So,
Less than.
ready to chime in? What is
right.
the movement penalty for a vehicle towing a gun?
Wow.
Is it 1 extra movement point
Yes.
or 2 per hex?
Oh, I'll say 2.
That's 1. Good job, Mike.
Okay. Wow.
Or 1 extra movement factor for a wagon pulling a gun.
Yes.
This might be kind of the booby, not the booby prize,
Right.
but it is the rule that people don't care
The
about that
trap.
much.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been wrongly placed on this show this evening.
Yeah.
Well, I think you'll do better than you think.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm ready to hear your
Yeah.
arguments for that.
What the evidence will show
Yes.
when you start getting right answers. So you add that extra movement point per hex. Is that movement point added after all other modifications to the movement point cost?
Can we just agree we're never going to?
Mike,
Yes.
you are correct.
Okay.
See, may a vehicle, I'm going to call on people. Jeff.
Okay. Yes. What?
No, Mike, may a vehicle tow a gun over a wall?
No.
That is correct, Jeff.
Oh, wait a minute. Why didn't you give me that one? That was a layup.
I have this other
I
word
could
for
have-
you.
Okay.
Jeff, may a vehicle tow a gun over open ground?
Yep.
Yes, is correct.
Okay.
How-
Okay.
Mike,
Wow.
how about a hedge?
Yes.
No,
No.
a hedge will tie it up.
Oh no.
Jeff, how about into a building or rubble?
No.
No is correct. Mike, how about over the moon?
Only with a V2.
That's correct. That's correct. You have to tie it up to a P2 rocket. May a
But
gun
if you plow a path
through the hedge
through a hedge, you
That's
could
what I
probably
was
tow it
thinking
through
of
there.
with the Cullen hedgerow cutter
Yes.
or fire.
Yeah.
You can burn hedges and
Or
burn
the-
a hole through.
The
Have you
Black
read
and
that
Decker,
rule?
the Black and Decker cordless
Right.
hedge trimmer might
That
do
you
it.
can work. Just a plain old chainsaw.
That's where it comes
Just
from, right?
Yeah, I think so. What are we gonna do with all these hedge trimmers?
May a gun fire anyone while it's in tow?
No.
There you go. See how
I like
easy
how
it
I
is?
said may instead of can.
While towing, can a vehicle use reverse movement? While towing.
While towing,
Have you ever watched a guy with a trailer towing his camper
I've done it.
or a
Right.
boat and they're
I've done
trying
it.
to back that thing up and put it on the pier? Have you?
Yeah, I've done it.
Well, so
So-
the answer is yes, but it's probably no. But it
The answer is no.
right, but they should let you try and then have it go all over the place. right?
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yeah, you have to
Like 30 times
you
back and
roll-
forth. And back. I got 30 movement points.
you drop
Yeah.
a 6-sided, 1 to 2, it veers off to the left. You
Yeah.
have to back up again.
See, these
3 and
rules
4 it goes
are
straight.
not complete.
No, they're
No.
not. Then you should hear the guy swearing, doggone, I said left. I said left. The leaders out there.
Yeah, so to keep the
Yep.
game simple, they of course left that
Yeah.
out.
The other left.
You know.
It's way too streamlined. This, I don't know.
Yes. May a vehicle towing a gun use bypass movement?
Yes.
No.
No, I'm gonna say no.
Why?
I'm not sure about that one. There is
Oh,
an
they're just getting-
exception.
Uh-huh. What is that exception?
The narrow streets that go bypass the
Well, they have
buildings.
no choice.
They can go on that. May it enter while you're towing a deep stream?
No.
No.
No. May it
Not unless you
enter
want to lose it.
a shallow stream?
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
They get wet.
It just gets wet.
You have to
Yes.
roll for dryage.
No. When a vehicle with a gun in tow is destroyed, is the gun destroyed also?
There's a die. First of all, there's a die roll. After 1942, there's a die roll with 1 to 3. with a 1 to 3, then there's a 50% chance that it'll fall off the cliff if
That-
there's an earthquake that day in February. But it's got to be February. It's going to slide downhill.
The answer is no. Or no,
Oh.
yes, it is destroyed.
It is destroyed.
It
It's
is
destroyed.
destroyed. Oh, you don't have a
Can
chance. Oh, that's too bad.
can a gun in tow be targeted separately from its vehicle?
No.
No.
Yeah, I would say no.
Just keep it all as one thing.
Yeah.
Have you seen the ad for Mayhem where he's the rusty towing knob on the back of the vehicle
Oh,
and they got the
yes.
boat on? I
No.
like those ads. I
What-
like them consistently over all the years. I'm Mayhem and I'm a rusty ball joint on this towing truck. And I'm going to let that boat go now. Just
Oh,
goes
really?
flying off,
Insurance ads.
I'm a bee.
Oh, okay.
I'm a
Gosh,
bee in
I've
your
never
car.
seen that.
Yeah.
There's a bunch. You've seen some of them.
No,
Mayhem.
I've never have.
I'm
We
a,
do not own a television machine at my house.
Wow. Rule 10.11. Hooking up.
Ooh,
Where are your
all
favorite
right.
where-
Where
where
the
are your-
ladies?
where are your favorite hookup bars? Mike?
Uh,
We can edit this out.
I've never been to a bar.
How about hookah bars? Hooking
Yeah.
up at a hookah bar. May a stopped vehicle in bypass hook up a gun?
No.
I put yes.
The
Why?
answer is
Oh,
yes.
I read the question wrong.
Ah,
May a stopped vehicle not in bypass hook up a gun?
Oh,
yes. Does the vehicle's T number have to be less than the gun's M number?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. What is the cost for hooking the gun up? May as well just guess at this point, right?
We can guess.
It's a lot.
What time of year is it?
All of its available movement.
No, less than that.
Half?
Half is correct. See?
Half the vehicle's movement factor to hook up a gun?
Yep. So
Okay.
you got 16 movement points. You're hooked the gun up, and then
That's
you got
'cause the
8
guy
left.
Can't quite back up. He has to back up like 4 or 5
Right.
times. Okay.
Now, there is an exception. If the gun's M movement, manhandling number
Manhandling number.
is circled, the vehicle
Yes.
must expend 2/3 of its movement point allotment. It's worse. Don't know why.
Hmm.
And in addition to any,
Is that the only use for the circle around the manhandling number? I was trying to remember now. Suddenly, I don't remember ever seeing a circle around a manhandling number. So I got to go home and look at my
Yes.
it's
circles.
going to come up somewhere else, I believe,
Okay.
but I don't really remember. Now that's in addition to any required movement point costs to enter the hex, provided a crew is on
Yeah.
foot in that hex. Does this expenditure qualify that vehicle as a moving target? So the guys are hooking the gun up, the vehicle's sitting there waiting.
Oh, yeah.
Does that qualify the vehicle as a moving target, a
Oh,
+2
no.
to shoot at it?
I would say no.
No. Does it allow first fire opportunities against it? Like machine guns?
Yes.
Sure, yes. The gun shares its target status and is destroyed or missed depending on the fate of the vehicle. So the guys hook up the gun, you can go ahead and fire the vehicle to try and kill them all. What is, no. Is the gun then placed on top of or beneath the vehicle to indicate that it's in tow?
On top.
On top is correct. Neither that gun, its crew, nor the vehicle passenger rider's crew can fire during the prep fire movement phase, and all of them are marked with a TI counter for the rest of that player turn. That crew may also load into the towing vehicle at no extra movement point cost as it hooks up the gun. But if it expends greater than half its movement factor allotment in pushing or entering the gun's hex, the gun cannot then be hooked up by that unit in that movement phase. Question then, must a non-quick setup gun first be limbered before it can be hooked up?
Yes.
Limbered. You gotta stretch it out.
Yeah, you look very limber.
You gotta work the kinks out.
For
You've
those
been
people
taking.
Those people who are not watching YouTube, Dave is bent over backwards. He's touching his head to the floor backwards.
If you've ever seen Elaine Bennis dancing in Seinfeld, then
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're witnessing here.
Yes, it must be. You are correct, Mike. See how much you guys actually know. Must a crew be in good order and unpinned to hook up, unhook, limber, unlimber, or push a gun?
Yes.
Yes, it must. A half squad, this is just teaching here, even if inherent in a squad, equals a crew for such purposes, but it takes, how many single man counters to equal a crew for such a purpose of pushing a gun or
Is
whatever?
this a joke?
No.
How many German?
There's a standard. There is a standard.
Does
I
it
think.
take to hook up a gun?
Did you say foomf?
Foomph.
5 is correct.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Well done.
5.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Isn't that a kind of a standard
Yes.
thing? Like
Yeah.
5
Yeah.
equal something?
Because a half squad is
and-
about half a squad, when squad's
Oh,
about 10.
about 10.
Right.
So on to unhooking. After you've hooked up, you gotta unhook.
Unhook.
A stopped vehicle in bypass may unhook a gun only by spending half of its movement point allotment. Again, exception if the movement number circle, it's the 2/3 again, under otherwise the same conditions that were necessary for hooking the gun up. Now, may that gun's crew disembark from the vehicle at no extra movement point cost as part of the unhooking procedure?
Good God.
Yes.
Yes, you're spending half the move, just they come out, you unhook it, that's half the move. Must that crew and gun remain TI then in that hex?
Hmm.
They had to when they were.
Yes.
Yes is correct. May that vehicle expend its remaining movement point costs? May that vehicle expend its remaining movement points?
Yes.
Yes. After being unhooked, certain guns must still be unlimbered before they can be fired. May either the crew or the vehicle, passenger's rider's crew, fire during that prep fire prior to unhooking. So I want to unhook. Can I prep fire and then unhook? Can you prep and move?
No.
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 The answer is
Yeah,
no.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Scarlett. I have to disembark the
So
vehicle.
the crew of the
to
weapon
unlimber
can't
the
fire,
gun.
or the crew of the vehicle can't fire,
If it's
even if the crew of the weapon is disembarking and getting the gun ready.
Yes.
too many chefs in the kitchen.
Must it, TI, may the vehicle expend movement points? Yes. After being unhooked, certain guns must be unlimbered. May either the crew or the vehicle, passengers, riders, crew
Right.
fire during the prep fire? No.
No. Okay.
May a gun's covered arc be changed simultaneously as you unhook it? Can you point it wherever you
Yes.
want?
Yes.
Yes, you can. Can. Now, this was so complicated. I was just going to teach it, which means read it and then ask you not to ask questions. Ammo portage point reduction, rule 10.13.
My favorite.
The usable passenger portage point capacity of a vehicle with a hooked up gun is considered reduced by 4 or by 8 if the gun being towed is greater than 100 millimeter due to the bulk of the ammunition. If this reduces an empty vehicle's portage point cost less than or 0, no extra penalty is incurred beyond the loss of its entire passenger portage point capacity. Example, an empty vehicle whose T number is less than or equal to the gun's M number can still tow that gun, even if doing so would reduce it to 0 portage points, but it would then not be able to also carry that gun's crew or anything else, even bananas, that would reduce that portage point capacity. If the vehicle is not empty, the gun could not be hooked up or towed if doing so would reduce its portage capacity to less than 0. Otherwise, if portage points are retained, they may be used normally.
Would that be the portage point wrap that you just did there?
Yeah.
That is the only question I will
Yes.
allow you to ask. That is.
Yes.
Those rules come on the
Okay.
back of every box of sugar tanks, by the way. So
They do.
Yes.
yeah, gives you something to read while you're crunching.
And is there a bananas counter?
There is bananas.
Okay.
Mhm. And that is going to end our show. We're halfway done with our gun movement. We'll finish it next time.
God, I don't know that I'll make it next time.
Yes, you will.
Okay,
'cause
I
you
will.
did so well. Come on.
Well, I stayed awake through the whole thing. But there's a lot of detail there. I can't imagine. I would just roll the gun into the river.
Actually, not really.
You know,
Isn't it pretty simple overall?
it is. It always is.
It's
It
like-
always seems a lot harder than it
Yeah,
is.
you're
Right.
using the half the movement points, and that includes
Mhm.
the crew going in and out and turning, and the gun
Yeah.
on the unhooking, and it can the portage point thing. I would have forgotten all about that,
Yeah.
but
Right.
towing, just add one for the towing thing. Yeah, it's not really that crazy difficult.
Okay. You've convinced me.
Dave said it.
Set it up.
Let's
And
do it.
so
Let's go.
We need a scenario that is based purely on moving vehicles and guns.
Yeah.
That's the victory condition. Like who moves the most
Yeah.
guns across the board.
That's a great idea.
can you shoot at each other?
No. It's kind of like the parking lot game.
Yeah.
Because boy, and of course I can't remember, but I do remember scenarios with exiting vehicles and
Right.
guns.
It would
I remember
it'd be
going
more
back
like,
there.
it would be
once.
more about finesse. Like,
Yeah. We got us a convoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's
So-
a good idea. We should create our own scenarios that help us through
That's
some of
right.
this stuff. It's a good idea. But that's going to end the show.
That's going to end
Already?
the show. Indeed,
I just got here.
you did.
All right, everybody.
Maybe you could
If
come
you're
next
watching on
time.
YouTube.
Yes.
And
I have
bring
more product
which is
that will not be
the-
purchased by Dave.
I think that's an action pack, right?
Action pack, the latest action pack. There's something else too. I'm forgetting.
No, there can't be more.
There's more. There's always more, Dave.
There
Always
can't
more.
be more. I'm not even halfway through Budapest, or just about halfway.
It's like that scene from The Sorcerer's Apprentice where Mickey Mouse keeps the broomstick guy
Yeah.
just keeps bringing
Come-
more ASL modules to your front door.
Yeah.
And Mickey Mouse can't shelve them all fast enough.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed.
We might have to ask AI to make that scene for us.
Yeah, I
That
think
would
we
be-
could.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back next time, Mike, with that.
I'll be here.
Good.
And probably we'll just do that product and we'll finish our
Yes.
gun rules.
That we're gonna
So
say, and
both
then
of you
kick you
can-
out right away.
Good
Do
one.
that segment and then kick me out.
Yeah.
Well,
Get out.
yes, we'll be done with you then.
Leave your shoes and your pants on. You're not staying.
Yes.
All right, then.
All right.
We like to say,
Yes.
remember,
Roll low.
everybody,
Roll low.
to
Roll low.
and rally
Rally well.
well, but not when you're playing us.
Us.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. We should have an orchestral, some sort of a
Swelling.
crescendo with the not when you're playing us, with a 3-part harmony.